Hello and welcome to Here with Joe. You are here and I am Joe. Welcome everybody. This is Here with Joe for Monday, August. What day is it? August. Give me a goddamn second for a second. August 21st. 2023. How you doing? How are you? Are you out? Are you out on the way to work? It's Monday. Are you in Los Angeles? Are we still around? Did the hurricane kill us all? Are you on the other side of the country and it's on fire? Is a white horseman riding through your backyard? Are brimstones flying out of the sky and killing everybody? Brimstones? I know what fire is, but what's the brimstone? Is that like asteroids? It's the end of the world, folks. And I'm just here podding it up for it. I don't know. Is it going to be... Oh, before we do anything, before we get into anything, if you are here because you found me on Reddit, on the stand-up comedy subreddit, and you're one of those 3.5 million viewers, thank you so much for all your kind words, and thank you for bumping up the numbers on this podcast and on the Instagram and all that stuff. Thank you. Welcome. All right? Stick around. It's going to be a good time, okay? Thank you for coming over here. And since you're new here, let me tell you a little something. This podcast is just me talking, okay? Every week, we're just going to talk. We're just going to be here together. You're going to be out on a walk, maybe walking your dogs. Maybe you're driving to work. Maybe you're driving home from work. It's Monday. It sucked. We hated it. But, we're just going to be enjoying the time together for a little bit. No more than an hour. Probably never going to be an hour. Most likely, it's going to be more like 30 minutes, 40 minutes tops, okay? We're just going to just talk about the things that happened this week. You guys can write in, by the way. If you go on the Instagram, @HereWithJoe, click on the link. There's a link to the Spotify for this podcast, but there's also a link to a Google Docs. Write in some questions. Someone actually did this week, and that was really nice of them. Write in questions. Tell me where you're from. I had a lot of comments on the video being like, hey, when are you going to come to New Jersey? When are you going to come to Michigan? When are you going to come to this place? I'll tell you when I'm going to come, whenever there's a demand, okay? And how we get that is you write in these questions and say where you're from so that whenever I hit up Comedy Yucks or whatever in Michigan or New Jersey, I can say, hey, look, I got actual people that are willing and ready to come see me. Headline, Comedy Yucks or Comedy Zone. Or Fiddle Faddle, whatever they're called. There's all these names from the 80s. So that's how it works. So, click those links, write in, let's create a little community here, okay? It's gonna be a good time. But yeah, make sure you and by the way, make sure you like and follow shit. That shit. And I'm embarrassed to ask. Okay? I know we're all adults, and it's embarrassing to ask you to follow me on Instagram and for you to like the stuff that I put on there and to share it, okay? It's embarrassing. Nobody wants to do that, all right? The only people that want to do that are the NPC people that are just on TikTok, insane people. They get apparently getting paid hundreds of thousands of dollars just to sit there and act like a computer program. Ice cream's so good. All right? I'm not going to do that. All right? I'm not asking you to do that for me. I'm just asking you to like and share videos that I put up on Instagram. All right? And it's embarrassing to ask for, but that's just the world we live in. Okay? Because it actually helps. Stand up. If you like any, not just me, if you like any stand-up comic that you see online, share their stuff. Okay? Because, even if you're like, oh, I only have 57 followers, what's good is that going to help? One of those followers might like it, and they might share it, and then it's like a pyramid scheme of fun, okay? And then all of a sudden, if enough people in one city like something, that's a city we can come have some fun in. All right, let's come do the comedy club in that city. All right, so it's really important. It's silly. It feels silly to ask, but how much it helps us is huge. So we gotta ask, and you might not think you're helping that much, but you're helping a huge amount. Like this last video, it helped so much. So many people shared it, and now we got so many more people listening to this podcast. We got whole new ears listening to this that would have never known about it if not for you guys that shared. So thank you, and please continue doing that because it's huge. You're the fucking shit for that. All right. Now let's get into it. What are we doing this week? This was a fun week. All right, you guys helped out a lot with that. We had some great shows. We had some shows in Venice. We had some shows in Silver Lake. We're going to be staying in town for a little while. Unless you guys share a shit ton of these videos that we're pumping out, and all of a sudden I can come back on tour. But for a while, I'm going to be staying in town, doing some more production work, and staying here and just doing local shows in L.A. But you never know, man. Weekends, I might be coming to your town. Just keep up with it. We had a good week this week, and apparently we got a hurricane coming our way now. Hurricane Hillary. First time in like 90 years, I guess, that Los Angeles is going to have a hurricane. Is it really, though? The way people are talking about it makes me feel like this isn't real. I mean, I know it's real. I know we actually have, there is a hurricane out there, and it is coming our way. But the variety of intensity of people being like, this is fucking crazy. It's going to be a wild storm that tears apart Los Angeles. And then other people are like, it's just going to rain. Like, is this going to be a wild, crazy thunderstorm for Los Angeles? Or is it going to be an actual wild, crazy thunderstorm? Because those are two different things. Okay? If it sprinkles out here, people lose their fucking mind. They they have no idea how to drive. The roads aren't built for anything wet. So it actually is harder to drive out here when it's wet. But also people just have no idea how to do it. And they drive crazy. People just getting in wrecks over nothing. Or just not driving at all. They'll just be coasting, not pushing the gas at all because it's wet. It's a nightmare anytime it rains in Los Angeles. So I'm wondering if this is going to actually be a bad storm, or is it just going to suck for us and it'll be fine. Hurricane Hillary, this is what it's called. Where do they come up with these names? I understand the naming convention. I remember learning this from when Katrina happened. Basically, at the beginning of the hurricane season, the first hurricane is named an A name. So it would be like Alicia. The next hurricane that happens, because there's hurricanes are constantly happening in the ocean. They just usually, by the time it gets to the coast, it's dissipated into just a little normal-ass rainstorm. In the ocean, though, hurricanes are just happening, from what I understand. And throughout the season, they name each one that happens in order by A, B, C, D. So Alicia, Brittany, Catherine. Are they always girl names? Are they always girl names? I can't look it up because I'm using my phone as a camera, but I don't know if I've ever heard of a Hurricane Bob or Hurricane Jeff. Hefe? Hurricane Harvey. That was a hurricane, right? I don't know if they do guy names. Hurricane Harvey sounds familiar, though. Was that the New Jersey one or New York one? Do they have to be running out of names at some point? Every year there's new names. So, do they ever reuse names? I feel like they do reuse names, but probably not for the... They probably... if a big enough hurricane happens, I think it was Harvey, and then, of course, Hurricane Katrina. I bet like Hurricane Katrina's number got to be retired, right? When you do something that huge, you know, they get put on the Ring of Honor or whatever, and they just like we can't be given, you know, this hurricane out in the middle ocean that's probably going to just be a thunderstorm by the time it gets to the coast. We can't be calling that Katrina. That'll be terrifying to people. Yeah, you got to retire the big ones. But I bet they reuse names until it's a big one. And is it always girl names? Because Hurricane Harvey sounds familiar, but I don't know. I might be making that up. That's the only... Katrina, Sandy, Hurricane Sandy? Or am I thinking of Sandy Hook? So many disasters in our lifetime. Can't keep up. I think they're always girl names. I think they are. Why would that be? Easier names? Or is that just, or is a hurricane just like a woman, you know? Unpredictable. You don't know what's going to set them off. They go to New Orleans one time, get drunk, lose their fucking mind on everybody, start a big fight with everyone. Yeah. That's Katrina shit for sure. Anyone who's known a Katrina in their life, they know. They probably don't want to name them. So, like, I bet they'll never name a hurricane Hurricane Jessica. That's too dangerous. You don't want to have a Jessica fucking coming on coast. What else is going on in the world of sports? Yeah, I know it's middle of the daytime. Keep it stepping, sir. World of sports. I am so fucking excited for football season. Every year I feel like in the off season I'm like, I don't even really care that much about football anymore. I kind of lose my fandom a little bit more because all the other sports like really feel like sports, but like, because like in the off season of other sports it still feels like you're following along. And my favorite sport, tennis, is like it doesn't really even have that much of an off season. But football, once it's done, it's like done. If you follow football news in the off season, except for like giant, like free agent signings, other than that, like, you know, the athletes, they're out of sight, out of mind. So you kind of like forget about it. And every year I'm always like, you know, football just isn't as good as it was when I was little. The rules are different, but also the rules are better. But also, like, they're better for the athletes, but probably not for the game. But at the same time, it's like, man, football's so bad for the athletes. It almost feels like you're watching some archaic sport that you shouldn't even be watching. Every year, every off season, I go through all that shit every time. And then 2 weeks before the season is coming, I get excited again. And oh boy, once Hard Knocks comes on, ooh, good season of Hard Knocks so far. Aaron Rodgers with the Jets, come on now. He's a fucking little hippie psychopath. I love it. And he's like a football, like, he's like savant. Dude's throwing the football 50 yards into a 2-foot box. I don't know how he's doing it. He's insane. And his teammates are all like super young, and he's an old man. He's 39 years old. Old. Football, though. All the other guys, they were born whenever he was starting playing football. It's incredible. I get excited every year. Once Hard Knocks comes on, I'm like, I'm in. It's the best TV show on TV. NFL, it's not even like a sport. It's a TV show. And there's new episodes every week for a couple months, and then it's over. It's not like baseball, basketball, hockey. Those seasons are long. You don't have to watch every game to enjoy your team. It's a long season. Like it's a job. It's like a professional sport. Like these guys are doing their job, and you kind of hop in and out as the season's going on, keep up with their team. or like tennis, like with your individual favorite athletes, like a tour. And then at the culmination of the big moments, you watch. Football, you watch every fucking second of your team, and then the big teams of that year that have the biggest storylines, you watch every second of those. All the big moments of those. Monday Night Football, Sunday Night Football. Come on, it's an event. It's America. Love it. I'm a Titans fan, baby. Every year I get my heart broken. It's actually been a good couple years because from pretty much the whole time I was in LA from 2009 all the way until 2016 or 2017, 18 maybe, 2009, 2018 was just garbage. We were the worst team in the NFL every year. Even when we weren't like statistically the worst, it was like we would bullshit win a few games enough to where we wouldn't get a good draft pick, but we were the worst. Terrible. And I still watched every game. It sucks. And then they get good, and then they were just good enough to make it to playoffs, and then they were just good enough to possibly make it all the way, and then they lost. And now, last year they were garbage again. This year I think we might be good. But I say that every year. Those years where they were the worst teams in the NFL, at the beginning of those seasons, I really thought, I think we might win the Super Bowl. Because that's the insanity of fandom. Well, I need your help. I was about to sing Titans number 5, and I realized no one's going to know what that is. I need y'all's help now that there's more people here, all right? Out of all the people that added to this podcast, I'm hoping someone can help me find this. Now, Mambo number 5. You remember that song? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Everybody get down to my line. A little bit of Mexico in my life. A little bit of Tina by my side. That guy. Remember him? I don't remember who was the actual singer, but it was called Mambo number 5. And when I was a kid and the Tennessee Titans were still a very new team, it was the first year that they were the Titans. Before that, they were the Tennessee Oilers for a couple years. First year they were the Titans, they made it to the Super Bowl. And the week that they made it to the Super Bowl, after they won the AFC Championship against, I believe, the Jacksonville Jaguars, I remember watching that game in a bar with my dad, and my brother was working. Fun time. After that game, I don't know if it was actually the guy who sings Mambo number 5 or just someone on the radio. They made a song called Titans number 5. And it was like a little bit of Stephen there by my side, a little bit of Eddie George. I've been looking for that song for 20 years. Okay? 23 years. I can't find it. I have scoured the internet. It doesn't exist, but I know it was real. I know it was real. I remember it. They played it on 107.5 The River in Nashville, Tennessee for like 2 weeks straight. Between the AFC Championship to the Super Bowl, they played that song over and over again. And I know it's real because my wife has the same memory. Okay? I didn't prod her into... I didn't give her that false memory, okay? We both brought it up. It has to exist online. Everything exists on the internet. Every piece of media from the last 1,000 years, okay? It all exists online except this song. Help me. I need to find it. Titans number 5. I know it. I can't even find people that talk about it. I've gone on the Tennessee Titans subreddit. I've asked there. I've asked everywhere. No one knows what I'm talking about, but I know it's real. Help me, okay? I'm losing it. I've been losing my mind for 23 years over this. I need to find it. That's the homework, okay? You want to be here with Joe, you need to find that song. A little bit of... It was like... It was all the players. Steve McNair by my side, a little bit of Eddie George down the line. Javon Curry singing blah, 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 Samari ball blah blah. It was a banger. It was a banger. And it was part of my childhood that got me into the Titans. Before that, I was a big-time Cowboys fan. I was still a Cowboys fan after that for a while. I was actually still a big Cowboys fan. I was probably more of a Cowboys fan even after that Super Bowl. All the way through the years. I'd be like, I'm a Titans fan, but still, like, you know, Cowboys were my team. That was like the only sports team I watched as a little kid, you know, before the Titans existed. And I think I was a Cowboys fan. I remember the day I finally was like, you know what? I watch more Titans games. I'm tired of trying to follow two teams. And quite frankly, the Cowboys keep letting me down anyway, pissing me off for my whole childhood after those Super Bowls. And I remember the day I finally was like, I hung up any affiliation with the Cowboys was the day that Tony Romo fumbled the field goal snap. And I was like, that's it. We're done. Okay? I love Tony Romo. Good guy. Great quarterback. But that was the day that I was just like, we're done here. We don't need to do this. And why am I hurting myself? I've never even been to Dallas at that point. Never been to Dallas. Never. The only reason I was a Dallas fan was because I was 4 years old, and the first football game I watched was a Super Bowl in which they beat the Bills. Okay? That's the only reason I was a Cowboys fan. And I held on to that my whole childhood up until that moment. I think I was a sophomore in college, watching it at work. Everyone's shitting on me because they're Titans fans and everyone hated the Cowboys. Cowboys about to win. Tony Romo fumbles that field goal. And I was like, why do I care? And by the way, I think I've said it before. Drop your teams. If you don't want to be a fan of a team, drop it. You want to be a bandwagon team? Be a bandwagon fan. It's fine. You have no affiliation to these teams. You have they don't give a fuck. If I decide to not be a Titans fan tomorrow and just be like, you know what, I live in LA, I'm going to be a Rams fan from now on. Let's start following them. Who gives a shit? People will give a shit. They will fucking let you know, too. Get real tribal with that stuff. But it doesn't make sense. Also, the team changes every year. I especially whenever it's like, football is different because it's like a big team, so there's usually players that have been on the team their whole career and stuff like that. But like basketball, are you really a Brooklyn Nets fan? Are you really a Boston Celtics fan? Like, I get it, you've been following that team for a long time, but like the team this year is literally just that guy from Phoenix and that guy from Oklahoma and this guy from that. It's like the big stars jump around so much. It's like, just be fans of the players. People make fun of people for being LeBron fans instead of being a fan of like the Cavaliers or the Lakers. It's like, yeah, but it's like, I want to watch that basketball. I don't give a fuck about the jersey he's wearing. I think that's because I'm a tennis guy. I like tennis. Tennis is like boxing. It's a man-on-man, individual sport. It's all the beauty of boxing without the brain damage. It's amazing. But in that, you follow like a guy or a lady. I watch ladies tennis too, but I prefer the guys tennis. But ladies tennis is good. We'll get there in a second. But like you follow a person. You're not following a team. You're not following. I mean, I guess you could if you're just like super patriotic. Be like, I only like the Spanish players. Silly. Just find the. All right, my favorite player right now that Federer is retired, Nadal is on his last leg. Nadal is still probably my number one. Carlos Alcaraz. This kid, he's 20 years old. I started watching. So when I started watching tennis, I think I was watching like some random tournament. I think it was before the U.S. Open. like in 2020. And he was in it, and he was like this 16 or 17-year-old kid, and I just happened to be watching a match in which he like upset someone huge. I think it was Tsitsipas. I don't remember. It was a huge upset because he was just like this little teenager, child, and he won. And I was like, you know what? I'm just now getting into the sport. Obviously, I'm going to watch the big dogs. I'm going to be watching all the big matches. But I'm going to pick this guy as a guy to follow along, to see where his career goes, because I think that's pretty cool to watch, to follow along with someone who might make it big, might not. And I got lucky because, oh boy, that dude is a fucking beast. All right, now he's number 1 in the world. I think at that time he was like number 200 in the world, and now he's number 1, and people are saying he's the next GOAT. Okay? It's beautiful. I got to watch that guy go from a little kid to this beast. I mean, he's still a kid. He's only 20 years old. He's already got 2 Grand Slams under his belt. Wimbledon this year, U.S. Open last year. He's about to win U.S. Open this year again, I hope. It's incredible. Got to watch him fucking just... he never got a chance to play Federer, but he beat Djokovic and Nadal in the same tournament on clay to win that tournament. Madrid, in his hometown. Goddamn. My point is I'm following that guy, okay? And so how's that different in basketball? Why don't you just follow whatever player you like? Who gives a shit what team they're on? It's all on the same television. Baseball, follow your team. Stick with your team. Because baseball is one of the sports where, like, and I think soccer too, probably. I don't know. I don't follow it. Where the organization is what your fault. Like, the organization is, it doesn't matter how good the players are. If the organization sucks, the team will suck. Like, it's baseball is like one of the few sports in which, like, the front office is so important. Like, and I don't mean just like putting together a good team. Like, anyone with money can put together the best team, but it's not. It's putting together the best team behind the best team. The farm, like building up your best team. Like the farm in baseball. That's why the Dodgers are good. Dodgers are good because they have a shit ton of money, but also, like, it ain't like the Yankees back in the day when they were just buying all the best players. Dodgers are making all the best players from when they fucking bring them in from high school and shit. We're really going through every sport, aren't we? Not a joke in sight. Carlos Alcaraz fucking rips though, dude. If you don't watch tennis, start watching him. All his matches are highlight reels every time. He's incredible. He's the best. He's best in the world right now, and it's cool because I got to see him go from this like scrawny little kid to just like now he's like a jacked dude. I fucking love a body transformation. All right. I mean that, like, just to be able to decide to do what I mean, he didn't decide. He basically just finished puberty on screen. But like people that like change their body like through training and shit, I'll sit and watch TikToks of body transformations all day long. I love that shit, dude. Just huge, like morbidly obese people just getting shredded over like a year or two. And having the foresight to take pictures every day to be like, hey, you know what? I know where I'm going. That shit, I love that shit. If you do that, that's fucking awesome. There's one guy, I think he was an Arab dude. I wrote down his name, actually. Bashoy Kella. Dude, this guy, he just shredded. He was a huge dude, and he just get like, he was like, all right, I'm gonna get cut. I'm tired of this, and I'm not just gonna get in shape. I'm gonna get in better shape than 99% of the world. Did he take steroids? Who gives a shit? If you're that big, fucking do what you gotta do. He doesn't look like he did, though. I don't think. Maybe. Who gives a fuck? I don't care. You want to do steroids. It's not good for you. Don't do it. I mean, unless you're an old man. When I'm an old man, hell yeah, I'll do it. I don't give a fuck. I'll be one of those like shredded old J.K. Simmons looking dudes. I love it. I love how like when old guys like in their 60s and up are on steroids, they get weird wrinkles. Like it's obvious it's not supposed, like they're shredded, but they like look like an old woman's leg, you know, like they're veiny, but it's like a veins that they look like they're painful veins, like varicose veins. Their whole body looks like elbow skin. That's what I'm looking for. That's what I'll do. I don't care. As long as it makes my back not hurt, fuck yeah. I already have the back of an old man. When I'm an old man, I'm going to do everything. I will take every fucking drug I can do to not have a bad back. Hopefully by then they have some sort of... I mean, I think they have surgeries now that you can fix it, but... Fucking kill me. Kill me if my back hurts the way it does now as an old man to where I can't even like power through it. Put me out of my misery. I don't want to do it anymore. You know what sucks about losing that extreme amount of weight though is those big people, they keep all their skin and it comes down. But like honestly though, I mean it sucks and I'm sure they're self-conscious about it, but like I'd fucking wear that like a badge, dude. It'd be like you remember those old Jenny Craig commercials when they're like in their old pants? They're like, I lost this much weight. I'd be doing that at the pool, just pulling my fucking nipple skin out, full extension arm outside in front of me. Be like, I lost this much weight, motherfucker. All right? I like it when they stretch the skin back and you can see a fucking six-pack. It's like, dude, I'm fucking shredded. All right? Back off. Someone talks shit to me, I'll slap them with my belly skin. All right? You don't know what the fuck I've been through. I bet doing jumping jacks sucks, though. Getting slapped in the face every time you come up and down, that would suck. It's an easy surgery, though, right? I would imagine. That's a plastic surgery you should not feel bad about doing, all right? There's good plastic surgery, that, burn stuff, you know. That's about it. Burn victims and people who lost a ton of weight. You should feel good about your plastic surgery. You should feel real good. Everyone else, stop. What are you doing? Love yourself, all right? Liposuction, that shit's... What are you doing? Stop eating. Stop eating cookies. And I'm not talking about like stomach stapling shit. That shit helps people. I'm talking liposuction, where they just take fat that you have and they suck it out. Or when they're putting fat into other places. Shit don't look real, ladies. All right? Your fake butts look stupid. No one likes it. No one with any sense likes that. Just look back to remember the 90s, when like late 80s and 90s, boob jobs became just crazy popular, and they kept getting bigger and bigger. Pamela Anderson, it got to the point where people were breaking watermelons with their titties. All right, it looked insane. It never looked good. Now look back at it, and they weren't even like real type of fake boobs. They looked like balloons. Look back at it now. You don't think that looks good, do you? It looks ridiculous. That's what your asses look like now. All right. At some point, the bubble burst on those titties, and at some point the bubble's gonna burst on these bubble asses. We're gonna look around at all these people walking around looking like they like fucking boa constrictors swallowing a whole deer. We're like, well, what are these? What happened? Where did the humans go? It looks hard, too. It looks like you fucking pumped your ass full of cement. Some people do, apparently, I guess. Leave it alone. Do some squats. Stop eating Debbie cakes. That's it. All right? Or keep doing that stuff and be happy with how you look. You look great. All right? Someone will love you. Body positivity. That's what that is. And especially stop fucking with your face. My God. Please stop fucking with your face. Lip fillers. Everyone looking like they have allergies. You look like you got stung by a bee. It looks good on an Instagram picture when you're face up forward. But when you're walking to the side, you look like someone beat the shit out of you. Same thing with the Botox cheek shit. And it's all these like girls in their 20s getting this shit done. It's like you look like a 70-year-old lady trying to look 30 and you're 24. Leave your face alone. It's fine. All that Botox shit, everyone thinks it looks normal because all their friends are just too nice to tell them. Okay? But the truth is, everyone that gets all that shit done on their face, the lip fillers and the cheek shit and the Botox, you look like you got in a fight 3 days ago. Okay? Have you ever seen those interviews of like boxers, like the press conference that they do the next day or whatever? And it's like their faces are healed up, but it's still swollen. That's what nightclubs look like now. It looks like just nightclubs are full of retired boxers. You got cauliflower ear on your face. Leave it alone. Oh, but I just want to get my lips done. Well, guess what? When you get your lips done, your nose is going to look weird. Because your genetics don't your nose genetics doesn't match with your lip now. So then you're going to fuck with your nose. And guess what? Your beady little eyes aren't going to look right anymore. Love yourself, all right? Just love yourself. You look great. You're a perfect 10. That's what I am. Perfect 10. We all are. Unless you start fucking with your shit. And then, what are you? You're a piece of plastic. You're a canvas for a doctor. All right, let's get to some questions. We got one right in this week. Just one. All right? I need you to help me out. Go on Instagram at Here With Joe. I got 2 links in my bio. One of those links is for questions or opinions. You got a pet peeve you want to send in, let me know. You got something you want me to like rate, do that. And also when you do that, just say where you're calling from or texting from. All right? I will never email you, okay? I might send you an email if I'm in your town. That's it. But I'm just going to keep track of like where people are hitting me up from. That's it. I'm not a spam bot, all right? I'm not going to fucking ask you to come, listen to me fucking rant every week, all right? I'll let you do that on your own. I won't email you. But send in these questions. But before we get that, last week I had a would you rather of the dolphin. Remember that? Last week I said, would you rather, because it was from one of my wife's reality TV shows. They asked it in it. They said, would you rather fuck a dolphin and no one ever knows about it? Literally, it would be impossible for anyone to ever know that you fucked that dolphin. Or would you not fuck the dolphin, but the entire world thinks you did? Okay? And the entire world's gonna think you did. Like, it's like there's enough evidence to where most of it, like, people are gonna just, they really do think you did. Like, it's gonna be on record, on your Wikipedia profile as the guy, you are the guy that did fuck a dolphin. There's no way you can prove otherwise. But you didn't. Would you rather one of those? Okay? It didn't take me much. Everyone that I asked in real life was like, it took them a lot of thought, and most people eventually said they would fuck the dolphin, but a lot of people are like, man, you can't fuck a dog. You're raping an animal. I say, I'm sorry. that dolphin's going to have to take the L. All right, I can't have the whole world thinking I fucked a dolphin. So I'm going to have to fuck that dolphin. Okay? And then I'll do whatever I can to help out with other dolphins of the world. Save the dolphins, whatever charity I got to do to right that wrong. But I'm sorry, I can't have the whole world thinking I fucked a dolphin. Okay? That's a life ruiner. Or so I thought. Because I don't know how this happened. But literally 2 days ago, I get an article about a guy who, he's like an author. His name is, what was his fucking name? Malcolm Brenner. Malcolm Brenner, apparently, look him up. He's written a book about how he had a dolphin lover for years. Like he doesn't say they fucked. He said they made love. So he did both of the would you rathers. He said, I'm going to fuck the dolphin, and I'm going to tell everybody I fucked the dolphin. I want everyone in the world to know. Insane. It was one of the craziest fucking articles I've ever read. Wild. Look him up. Malcolm Brenner. At one point, I swear to God, he was like, people need to understand it's not like this was some dog trying to hump my leg, all right? This was a 400-pound female that I was making love to. Ugh. What? What? Dude. Don't tell people. Don't do it, but also don't tell anyone. What are you doing? He said, I know we were making love because after we would be done, she would place her snout on my shoulder. Okay, man. Wild. The whole article is crazy. And it even goes into some shit about like how like outside of the fucking thing, like I think it was like, just to be clear, we're not condoning that. But there's like other organizations that are fighting to make dolphins not considered animals, but rather considered non-human persons. I guess because they're so smart. But, you know, don't fuck it, dude. Wild. Look it up. Absolutely fucking nutty. And he wrote like a book. The whole article was basically him being like, yeah, fuck this dolphin, and I've been trying to work on this novel for the past 20 years, but when I started it, I wasn't good enough writer yet, and I didn't want to waste my story without having the technical skills, and he's gotten better at writing, and I guess now he just, oh man, I wish I wrote down what the name of the book was. It was like My Flipper Friend or some shit. It was something that was like a little on the nose. My Life with Porpoise. Ooh, that would be good. A Porpoiseful Life. Filled with porpoise. Ugh. That would be if the dolphin's fucking him, I guess. Anyway, all right, let's get to the one question this week. Someone wrote in from Denver. Welcome, Denver. I won't ever say the names on here, even if you write them in there. From Denver, just a quick, would you rather delivery or takeout? Which is better? Which is better, delivery or takeout? It depends. It's straight, delivery or takeout depends. There's something, okay, if we're saying which is better, takeout's always going to be better. Takeout's 100% always going to be better if we're talking quality. Because you're picking it up and you're getting it right when it's done. You're basically getting it like you're eating it at the restaurant. Only you're not staying there to eat. You're picking it up and you're taking it home yourself, and you're going to eat it right when you get home. That's always going to be better. I also feel like restaurants put more effort into takeout. If it's delivery, that shit's put to the side because you're gonna have to deal with like the Postmates person or the delivery person taking their time. You know that by the time it gets to the person at home, it's probably going to be cold anyway, so why put the effort into making it perfect? Yeah, take out 100% of the time. 100% of the time. Now, if we're talking which is better, convenience, that depends. Because some things are going to be, they travel well. A pizza, classic, travels well. Chinese food, classic, travels well. Is better in person. Is better if you're eating in the restaurant and then take out. But it travels so well that it's like, whatever. I'd rather be fucking setting up Netflix or whatever. I'd rather be getting shit hammered at home. I'd rather be getting shit hammered out and then going home and then having Chinese food ready for me. Yeah. In that situation, some foods are going to be better delivery. But if we're talking quality, we're going takeout, okay? My thing is, like, most of the time, if you're doing takeout, just eat there. Just eat there. What do you? Some people have a thing where they won't eat at a restaurant by themselves. Let me tell you something right now. I'll eat at a restaurant by myself. I'll go to fucking movies by myself. I'll do everything by myself. You should feel comfortable being by yourself out. All right? That's something to work on. If you're uncomfortable being at a restaurant by yourself, take a second and think about why is that? Because you feel like it makes you look lonely? No, it makes you look fucking strong. Okay? It makes you look like you are the owner of your time. Get out of your head. All right? Stop fucking pumping your face full of shit. Stop getting your fake ass. Stop eating so much. Work out a little bit. And go sit and have a nice Italian dinner by yourself. Take it in. Have them pour you. You can spend a little extra because you're only spending money on yourself. Okay? Enjoy it. Have fun. Do takeout if you need to. If you want it to be good. And if you want to, if you want to have a sad, lonely night at home where you only talk to the delivery person, do delivery. That's okay. That's all good. All right, that's the podcast, everybody. That was a good one this week. Again, if you are new, we do this every week. This comes out every Monday. If you came here from the Reddit video, thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay? Sincerely, thank you. Please like, share, follow @HereWithJoe on all platforms. Write in. Let me know where you're writing from. Anything, questions, gripes. If I said anything wrong on here that you fucking hated, let me know. And I want to come do stand up in your town. This week I got shows in Los Angeles. If you're in Los Angeles, August 24th, we got Culture Court is back at the world famous Comedy Store, 8 p.m. Come. All right, this is the first one back. We went on a hiatus over the summer, and we're back. We're back with some bangers of cases. If you don't know what Culture Court is, follow Culture Court on Instagram @CultureCourt. And it's basically we write up cases and we put things on trial. Examples in the past, we put Beautiful Women versus Short Kings. Short Kings felt like they were being discriminated against, okay? Things like that. I think one time we wanted to decide, we wanted to rank the races, okay? It gets wild in there, okay? So every race got to come in and pitch their case. I won't tell you who won, all right? You have to come to Culture Court to know those things, all right? So 8:24, we got Culture Court, world famous Comedy Store at 8 p.m. 8:25, we got Jetpack at Bar Lubitsch in West Hollywood, 8 p.m. Good show. And then on 8/26, back at the world famous Comedy Store in the Belly Room, we got the 7-Eleven show with my boy Matt Daddy Lockwood. That's his show, and that's gonna be a stand-up show. So Culture Court, Jetpack, 7-Elevens. Come out in Los Angeles. We're going to have a good time. And that's the podcast. Again, thanks for coming from Reddit. We'll keep sharing stuff. We'll keep liking stuff. And we're going to have a good time. Thank you. Love you. Bye.